I can hear you. How are you?
How are you? Which you want these? or these?
Are you going skiing? What's happening here?
Which ones you want?
I like the white ones.
Or do you want these?
What else do you have? Let's see. Oh, but those feel way too normal. I can't interview you while you look that normal. I'm so used to being thrown for a loop a little bit more than that.
These 3D ones.
How many of these do you have at your desk?
Those are sick.
A lot.
I mean, what else
What is that? What is that football helmet?
Is that a Buffalo Bills helmet? Like, what's behind you? Look over your left shoulder. What are those?
Oh, no, Reebok.
Yeah.
Reebok. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's Reebok. Okay.
Oh, sick.
Okay.
I'm trying to. These are good.
Okay,
Let's do
that
it.
works.
Pump up your Reeboks and you just don't stop.
Mine are so dirty I can barely see you. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hey, did you have fun last night? How's your top hat?
It's good. That was crazy.
Was it that crazy though?
Not really, because we know the feeling because you was there every time I got swept. So
Yep. I remember we had Howard Beck on earlier, and in 2001, when you guys kept sweeping and everybody remember all like the local guys would show up with their brooms and like, hey, Shaquille, here's a broom for all your sweeps. And you're like, yeah, I've heard that joke before. But that's what I felt like watching last night. And everyone was talking about, what are the teams going to do in between? I'm like, yeah, we've played that song before, like you and I have.
Are we starting now?
Yeah, we're already on.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, brother, is this on? What if you'd said something like inappropriate, or that would have been fantastic? That would have been really fun. No, we're on.
First of all, I would never say anything appropriate to the lovely, beautiful wife of the great Hall of Fame Rich Eisen. It's not my stuff.
No comment.
Yeah.
No, that was fun last night watching you and Charles dancing around or it was you and Kenny dancing on ESPN. I also thought Charles looked really freaked out by the robots, by the way, but that's a whole nother conversation.
He was. Charles is a fraidy cat. Like, he's afraid of everything. I mean, one time we had a fake rabbit, and we gave him the fake rabbit, and he thought the rabbit was real. I was last night. It brought me back. I understand how James and how Donovan is feeling. I don't know if I'm tied with LeBron, but I think I'm one of the biggest names with the most sweeps. Mm-hmm. You can correct me. How many times have I got swept, Susie?
You did. Let me look it up. Well, I know we had the 3 in 2001, right?
Okay, so it was 3 in LA.
And then you had
1 in Orlando.
Yep.
No, 2 in Orlando.
2 in Orlando. Is that when you had the parade?
Yeah. So it was the finals, and then the next year after that, when Mike came back in '96. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I have 5, and I think LeBron has 4. So, but my teams, we never quit. We didn't have what it took to win, but it looked to me like they gave up really, really early, and then New York just. I hate to say it, but New York just put their foot on their neck and they just crushed them.
How good is this team? Is it about?
They are so good. I already know what your answer. They are so good. I owe the whole state and all 5 boroughs of New York an apology.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, so I want to apologize to Spike Lee, Tracy Morgan, Al Palagonia, all the superstars that were sitting there. They are really good. They have it. It reminds me of that Detroit team that beat us my last year there.
With Rashid?
With Rashid. They just got a bunch of guys that are just together. Mm-hmm. Because we look at that, Detroit team, no disrespect to all the guys, but they didn't really have any really big name players that you talked about all the time. Big Shot, Chauncey was there, Rashid was there, the Hall of Famer Ben Lobs was there, but they were a collective group, and they just played together, and they fought hard, and they never gave up. And when I look at this Knicks team, it reminds me so much of that team, led by Jalen Brunson. But, true definition of a player, as you know, is they make his players around them better. So, game 1 where he mounted the comeback, where he went crazy, Cleveland adjusted and said, okay, we're going to double him. And then he kicked it to his guy, and Josh Hart started going off. And I think Shaq started playing well. Cat's not really dominating like I want him to dominate, but he's really playing nice, smooth basketball right now, getting everybody involved, initiating the offense from the top of the key, and they look good. OG Anunoby, my guy Alvarado's coming in, giving them a spark, and they're just playing very well.
Landry said last night, he said, Knicks fans are a unique species of human beings who should be studied. What's your favorite memory of either playing in New York or interactions that you had with Knicks fans?
Well, Knicks fans think they're going to win every year, and they're loyal. They never switch up. Ever since, I've been going up against the great Patrick Ewing and Larry Johnson and the great Charles Oakley. They always said, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win. And then when they lose, they go, okay, don't worry about it. But we'll get them next year, and we'll get them next year, we'll get them next year, we'll get them next year. This is their year. I'm happy for New York. I'm happy we are going to be covering the finals. It's going to be great. Charles Barkley said this the other day. When the Knicks are playing great basketball, it's fun for everybody. So now that the Knicks are in the final, I can't wait to see who they play.
It's going to be great.
It is going to be great. I was getting ready to say that I don't know if they can beat either team on the West, but now I don't know if I can say that.
Why?
Because they're playing excellent ball and they have everything covered. They defend, they shoot the ball, they never panic. Their bounce back game is impressive. Only thing I fear, but not really, because I always enjoy when we got 5 to 6 days off because I could just rest my body and not think about anything. They got 9, 10 days off. And being in New York and everybody, hopefully they don't get too happy because, the mission is not accomplished. But, me, if I was playing now, I would definitely enjoy these 9 days off. The first 3 days, I wouldn't even do nothing. I would even looking at basketball. 4, 5, and 6, we'll probably know who our opponent's in. And then 7, 8, 9, I'm starting to get that pace. And then I'm going to have so much energy in that game one. So I can't wait till the final start. I know it starts next Wednesday, and I will definitely be there.
I remember when you had those days off because you were banged up and you get your treatment and you'd chill out. And Phil would raise his eyebrows every time somebody would ask him what to do with that time frame. But then you came back and you lost game one before you went on to take care of Philadelphia. So what's the adjustment like that from your own experience?
Yeah, but we, being that was our second championship, we had the blueprint. So I knew with all those days off not to go crazy. So I just rested. I got my massages. I did the ice. I was up in Mulholland Estates. First couple of days, I was just focusing on being a daddy. Just playing with the kids. Out with them, doing stuff. Not really going out in the city too much. But I had great energy and I was feeling good. We just went up against a guy that was not remarkable. He was super remarkable. Because remember, our thing was we're not doubling this guy. AI, you're going to beat us. You have to beat us. And I think he had, 48, 50 points that game?
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the game that we're going to see tonight? What are you expecting? Do you think OKC bounces back?
Well, they are known to bounce back. They got smacked pretty good, but they don't seem to have any panic in their system. From a big man standpoint, I would like to see Victor Wembanyama dominate. It's nice to see a big guy dominate and put up the numbers that he put in. Game one, he had 40, they won. And in game two, I think he was in the 20s, they lost. This last game, game four, I think it was, he had 22 points in the first half, ended up with 33. I think if he can put up the big numbers and play inside and get the Thunder defense to kind of react a little bit and then get his guys involved, they have a shot. And defensively for the Spurs, I don't think they need to panic every time SGA gets the ball. The games that they lost, they were doubling him at, half court damn near, and he was able to, the great player that he is, he was able to, pick the Spurs apart, get everybody else involved. If I was the Spurs, I'd say, okay, SGA, get 50.
You and I have talked about this many times, Shaquille O'Neal here on the Rich Eisen Show on Disney+. We've talked about the resurgence of the big man, and you for years bemoaned that you didn't like how a lot of the big men were playing. So let's talk about Wemby in particular before we go back to SGA. What is your advice to him on how he's been playing and how he should play going into these next few games?
My advice is to him, he has to be super aggressive because, at his size, with his skill set, if he's super aggressive, the world has to panic. And when they panic, they're going to do what they always do, send guys at them. Now, when they send guys at you, you can get Castle involved. You can get all your let me tell you something about that young Harper. Oh, my God. This kid is fabulous. He is so fabulous. So, you can get him involved. And listen, the system, I've always called the Spurs organization, the system. The system is well in effect, but if he's dominating, if he's super aggressive, if he's close to the paint, taking high percentage shots, look, I don't mind him shooting threes because he's a fabulous shooter, but I would like the majority of his shots closer to the basket. If he can do that, cause OKC to panic a little bit because, he's having his way with Shaq. And then, listen, every time they put Caruso on him, that should be a sign of disrespect, and he should be looking to score. So if he dominates it, if he's all over the place, and if he stays out of foul trouble, they definitely have a shot. But I wouldn't tell him much because he has two mentors over there that we're all in the same office. You got the great David Robinson, and you got the great Tim Duncan there. So you don't really need my advice because I wasn't really that type of player. I'm more of a power player. So, Tim was definitely inside and out, and so was David Robinson. So I'm sure he gets, great advice from the guys. And, you still got Popovich coming in and out every now and then. So I wouldn't tell him much. As a fan, I just enjoy watching him play, but I would love him to be dominant, not some of the time, but all the time.
Did you have much interaction with Popovich?
No, but I've always loved and respected Popovich. I told this story one time. I didn't have any shoes. Couldn't afford them. Couldn't even find them. So I think the Spurs had a player that was 7 foot. So, my father used to go at the local gym, and, every now and then a couple of Spurs would come in. And my father asked the Spurs, hey, man, you know where I can get some shoes? And he said, yeah. And so he gave us a number. And when we got to the organization, it was Pop. And Pop knew who I was in high school. He was like, hey, man, you're a fabulous player. And Pop gave me 3 pairs of shoes. And I've always had love and respect for Pop. When we played against him, I didn't like him because it's my job not to like anybody. But, ever since that day, I've always had love and, respect for Popovich. Never have anything negative to say about him. Definitely a great coach, Hall of Fame. I wish he was still around, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I wish him that, I don't know how he's doing health-wise, but I wish him nothing but the best.
That's a beautiful story, and you always have those for me. You mentioned SGA, and I would just let him go up to 50. How does that affect the game plan around that then? What's your thought there?
Because OKC is dangerous when everybody's involved. When everybody's involved and they're playing well, they're very, very difficult to beat. The other night, he wasn't playing great, and then, Caruso didn't get no threes, and, all the others really didn't get a lot of opportunities to score points. I think in the game where they won in San Antonio, their bench points, they had a lot of bench points. In the game they lost the other day, I don't even think they got in double figures in bench points. I'm not sure, but if you keep them less involved, you have a high probability of winning.
So who do you think it's going to be then?
I don't know, but I would like it to be the Spurs versus the Knicks, because I would like to see Wemby in person. When you sit here and watch him on TV, it's magnificent, but I would like to see him in person. I can remember in high school watching Jordan on just, watching him on TV. And then I went to the game one time. I was like, oh, he's real. So I know Wemby's real, but I would just like to see that in person.
Susie Schuster in for Rich Eisen on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+. Shaquille O'Neal is with me now. How would you have played Wemby?
You got to make him play defense. So, I'm a power player. I would have given him 2 or 3 dribbles to try to get him under the rim and do the same thing I did to Dikembe Mutombo. If you don't know what I did to Dikembe Mutombo, here it is right here. That's for your editors, Susie and Rich.
And that's where you roll in the B-roll, Shaq? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
I remember. I was there. Street food, by the way. I think I'd rather have San Antonio, the Riverwalk. When we would go there, really good guacamole there. So I think I would take street food in San Antonio over OKC. What would you take?
I'm never going to disrespect San Antonio. That's where I'm from. That's where the character you all know as Shaq was created at Robert G. Cole High School. I went to the Riverwalk all the time on weekends. Fiesta, me and my boy Joe Cavallero, me and Ramos' brother. Shout out to Mingo. So I love San Antonio. I hope they win so I can get back home and reminisce on the stuff I used to do when I was in high school.
Yeah, but Chuck wants street meat. Chuck wants a little street meat. That sounds dangerous. That sounds like a one-way ticket to the men's room.
I like how he describes it. I want the street meat with that white sauce.
Sounds so gross. I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, you guys are going to definitely be showing Chuck with a lot of street meat, right?
Yes, we are.
Can we talk about Louisiana State University for a second? I was really proud of you. Watching your speech was really spectacular and beautiful, and yet another doctorate degree. What was it like for you there, to be there, and to just the hard work that you've put in? I know how much work you've put into bettering yourself.
I am upset with you. You just broke the streak.
What?
You just made a mistake.
What? What did I say? LSU.
You said doctorate. You said doctorate.
Masters?
Oh, my God. You broke. Oh, you were perfect for 30 years. Oh, my God.
Do you know how much pressure it is to be perfect, Shaquille?
Oh, you just broke the streak. You were the only one that would come in with information that make me go. You make me go like this. I can't lie to you because you already know what you're talking about. But you know what?
Okay, you have a master's, you have a doctorate, you have a lot of it. You got a sheriff's badge. What else do you have? I mean, okay, take two.
I wanted to get a master's of psychology, but I said to myself, I don't want to disrespect the psychology industry because you know I'm sort of a crazy thinker. My process was in the mindset of how can you be a sports psychologist if you never played sports at a high level, right? So I wanted to do psychology, but then after you do psychology, you got to get all these board certifications and this and blah blah. So I said to myself, I'm going to focus on being a mentor. So I got a master's of liberal arts. And I wanted to understand where the term mentor came from. So I did a lot of research on the book, The Odyssey. That's what my dissertation is about. The interdisciplinary approach to mentorship as seen in the book, the novel, The Odyssey. So I'm going to be a professional mentor. We'll open up my offices and soon here, and hopefully I could get hired by a lot of colleges because, when I'm talking to people, I want to know they know what they're talking about. Because I remember one time when I went to see a sports psychologist in LA after missing all those free throws. You still there?
Mm-hmm. I remember. I actually remember when you did this.
Yes, I remember when I went to a sports psychologist after missing all these free throws, and he tells me to breathe, Susie. And I was like, what'd you just say to me? I said, brother, we're going to Sacramento tomorrow for Game 7. Breathe ain't going to work. Breathe is not going to work. I've already gotten swept 3 times. I've already lost every time I'm here. If I lose this right now, I am done in this city. I am done. I will be the laughing stock of LA superstars in this city if I don't get this done. So that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But again, I didn't want to be me against the psychology industry because, I respect what they know on the academia side. But if you never really played at a high level, I don't think I could respect your word. Like, for example, if I'm going to do a show, if I'm going to be an analyst, if I'm going to be a journalist, I would definitely talk to you. I'm not going to talk to one of these kids that just got on and, has 1 million followers and he's a superstar overnight. No, I'm not going to talk to him about the rigors of this business. But I will definitely talk to you because you started from the bottom and you're very successful where you are now. But me and you, we kind of grew up together. So I know who you are. I know what you've done. I know what your husband has done. So I respect people that have experience.
And you've got a doctorate, so you're clearly really smart because you want to talk to me. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yeah. And you are correct.
I remember that so well. And I think there was an Australian free throw. Remember there was like an Australian free throw specialist who came in to try to work with you and wanted to change where your hands were on the ball. And at some point you just had to figure it out on your own. And I'm just curious before we go about how you will work with kids. Are you going to be available to kids at LSU? Are you going to start going on the road and starting to talk to kids across the country? Can you imagine the amount of kids that can learn from you and what the attention will be for you on that? I mean, it's going to be a full-time job.
One of the roles of being a mentor is you have to listen. So hopefully while I'm listening, I have a story to tell them. Rather than saying, do this, do this, do this, I can give them my experiences of what I've been through or other people's experiences. Because, I've been around the block, came in with Penny, was there with Kobe, helped shape D Wade, seen the King do what he do, seen Steve do what he do. I have a lot of stories that, hopefully I could, help these kids, relate to the problems. But they know and understand that I know exactly what they're going through. Big game at LSU, we got to win, and, if the pressure's on you, I know what to say to a kid. I know exactly what to say to a kid to say, hey, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to prepare, and this is how you have to think. And it all has to do with positivity.
Shaquille O'Neal right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Susie Schuster in for Rich Eisen. You were our very first guest on Women's Sports Now last year. Now we're on ESPN, wherever you want to find us, on the app, et cetera, Disney Plus, you name it. And you have been a mentor to Angel Reese and now also to Lauren Betts as you brought her under the Reebok umbrella. So I'd love to get your thoughts on, first of all, how Angel's fitting in there in Atlanta, and then also what you're seeing out of Lauren Betts in Washington.
They are having fun. They are playing fabulous. They are both determined to do great things. And I just stay out of their way. They have my number. They know if they need me, they can call me. Another role of being a mentor is not to micromanage. Sometimes you just have to let people, figure it out on their own. I had to, I hate to sound like this, but I grew up by myself. I didn't have anybody to call. So I was like, okay, I said this, they didn't like it. That was a mistake. Delete that. I said this, they like it. Okay, I'll keep doing interviews like this. So sometimes you just have to, teach yourself. But they're smart. I love the way they're playing, and, they're happy. And, that's all that, matters to me. I wish I could punch some of these guys in their face that just, pick on my Angel and pick on my Lauren, but I have to be professional.
You were one of the first people, though, to back Angel Reese the way you did. Why did you do that, and what are you seeing out of her now? And can you believe how huge she has become?
Because enough is enough. The problem with you guys' as profession now is you're letting amateurs come in, and amateurs think they have the same rights as you guys have. You know what I'm saying? So you're letting all these guys come in and they just say stuff off the wall and they keep going it. And then a lot of guys, when they get off air, they want to go to their page. So what do they do to go to their page? They'll take a hot topic and promote it on their page to get their followers up. But, it's just a lot of nonsense and just a lot of embarrassing and a lot of bullying sometimes. And, guys bullying guys is fine, but I can't let you just bully females just so you can get likes.
Although I will tell you this. Angel has a great way of standing up for herself.
She
and
does.
I really respect that about her.
And I have to call her sometime and be like, hey, I got it. Don't you respond, I got it. No, do this. No. You relax. I got you.
All right, before we let you go, and I have to let you go, who's going to win it all?
I don't know. I wish I could have that answer.
Oh, where's your magic ball?
I don't have a magic ball right now. Let me see. Where's my magic ball?
Where's your Swami hat?
Hold on. Let me put on my futuristic glasses.
Okay, good. Again, you look like you're going skiing.
These are my school glasses.
So look through those glasses. Who do you see hoisting the trophy? Do you see street meat or do you see guacamole or barbecue?
I gotta.
Wow.
I mean,
You know what? It was so cloudy I can't see.
Yeah. The future's so bright you need shades.
No, because I don't know who's playing yet.
I know.
Who's playing? So I tell you what. You want me to have before the finals start? You want me to come back? I'll come back for you.
That would be delightful. That would be delightful. Shaquille O'Neal, I love you.
I love you more. And tell your wonderful husband I said hello. And who's the other guy? I didn't even see his face. What's his name?
Who, TJ over there?
Yeah.
Or Chris Brockman over there?
what up, Diesel?
Ask me a
Shaq,
question.
baby, let's go.
Go ahead. Ask me a question.
Shaq, what should the Celtics do? Should they break up the Jays or go get Giannis?
I don't think they should break up the Jays.
I agree with you.
I don't think they should break up the Jays. They just have to learn how to have better in-game adjustments. You know, the Celtics, they're going to die by the jump shot and live by the jump shot.
It's tough to watch sometimes.
It's tough to watch. When it's falling, it looks pretty, but you have to have that mentality. Hey, I just missed 2 threes. Let me go take a high percentage shot. And that's why they lost. You know, Jaylen Brown was playing excellent. And, Tatum came back. Listen, it still can work. You can still have 2 alpha males on the same team doing the same thing. Because, listen, they're both going to touch the ball. You know, it just comes down to who's going to take the last shot. And the game always dictates that. So I don't think there's animosity between them, that they're trying to make animosity between them by that single phrase, whose team is it?
Mm-hmm.
But once you figure out your formula, like, our formula back in our day was give me the ball early, probably going to be missing a lot of free throws. Kobe, you take over in the fourth quarter, and we just rattle like that. And it worked for us. We were able to win three games in a row, but we did a great job of having in-game adjustments.
Mike Hoskins came up with a good watch your head for you, Shaq. Here we go. We got it for you. Ready? You got that shot you have in the back of a certain finger wagger? Yeah, that's the one. Oh. That's the one. Watch your head.
1, 2, 3.
Watch your head.
1, 2, 3.
Watch your head, TJ.
Watch my head?
You got to say, watch your head.
I don't even know what that means, but I do have a question for the Diesel. Shaq, you know, you've been on here a few times with Suze. You might know I'm a Sixer fan because I grew up in Pennsylvania. I love Dr. J like you. He is still to this day, with all due respect to you, my favorite basketball player ever. Moved to L.A. in 99, adopted the Clippers because I didn't want to make people think I was a bandwagon jumper for the Lakers because I didn't want to hear any crap. Now people want me to just give up my fandom for the Sixers and the Clippers. I need you to tell me this, Shaq. Do either of these franchises have a chance to have, like, what the Knicks are doing right now? Like, I want to feel like the Knicks fans, but I don't know if Philly or the Clippers can do it for me. Should I hang on or should I just let it go?
What does this say that I'm saying?
You're saying yes. Hold on.
And I'm lying to you.
Not a chance.
You don't have a shot in hell, brother.
So I should just go on with my life, pick a new team. You know, my god brother is a man named Johnny Moore. You might have heard of backcourt with George Gervin for the Spurs back in the day. So before Wemby got there, they were like, you should just become a Spurs fan. And I'm like, yeah, I should.
Yes.
Try to tell you.
So I should just give up on the Clippers and the Sixers and
yeah.
All right. Because like Curtis Blow, Shaq, basketball is my favorite sport. And it hurts me to see my team stink like this. So I think it is time. You might be right. I got to move on.
Yeah.
Bye, Shaq.
Love you.
Love you more. See you next week.
All right, Shaq.
Thanks, Shaq. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. The SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something